Okay, that would be good if I took the overlay off. What is going on, everybody? Boomer moment. I am
Sporking. Now podcast is going this way.
That's me. Yes, I am Sporking News Podcast. This is Sporking. Yeah, going Spork Deep or Spork Deep with Sporking. Solo. I'm very bald. I'm not used to being this large and bald, but guess what? It's beautiful. How is everybody doing tonight? Let's see who's in the chat. I know Mondays we get a slow roll in, but I love seeing everybody. We have the beautiful Mr. Grant Gregory, who is in the chat and behind the scenes. Thank you, Grant. We have Cody Guy here. Hello, Cody. Katina, you made it. Yes, you made it on time. All those people are beautiful and they are channel members. We hit 50 channel members and then lost 3. So we can hit 50 again, everybody, but I really do appreciate you guys for nothing else than just supporting the channel because I don't really give the greatest benefits. I am hoping to start adding a stream for you guys soon, or at least videos just for you guys. So we will also maybe do pre-Saturday show with you guys and me getting ready for the show, and we could talk about what to cover and things like that. So please make sure you are a channel member if you'd like to get involved in that. We also have Mr. Grant Gregory at $2 say, chill ass intro. Are you saying you have crabs? No. Okay. The intro is a guy from I don't know where he is from, but somewhere on that side of the country in some warm weather. His name is Culture. Thinking that Creole stuff and crawdads and things like that are New England, even though it's like lobster bakes and football and baseball and skiing and uptight Democrats and crazy Republicans, all that good stuff. The lovely Sherry is here. Mutant Bamhammer. Oys, all the boys. We also have the Time Prophet, you non-Scottish, angry, old Englishman. How are you? Michael Connor. Hey, man. Good to see you here. Thank you. Hail Lobster Unbreaded. Yeah, lobster is, up here, it's, first of all, it's Maine lobster. And second of all, the only thing you can add with your lobster usually up here is maybe some butter. Other than that, it's not lobster to me. We also have Small Time Republic in the house. Hail. And Mark. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate you here. It's like Carrie Fisher from When Harry Met Sally. You're right. I know you're right. Thank you, buddy, for being here. Free Folk of the Fandom, one of my Song of Ice and Fire friends. Free Folk has his own channel. Guys, check him out. He was part of a couple of my Mondays when Mondays was we were doing the book club for Song of Ice and Fire and thinking that George R.R. Martin was going to actually finish the books. I don't think that anymore. I think Sporking should write a spinoff for Games of Thrones in case it doesn't get finished. Well, that's what we're here to talk about once again, and what you guys want to talk about in the chat. There might be a couple other things we're going to cover, but George R.R. Martin, once again, not a blog, decided to give us updates. I am so sick of his updates, man. I don't need it. I don't need to hear your updates. I don't need to know what's going on. So yeah, he has his not a blog here. Good picture of George, but I should probably blow that up. Boom. So too much to do. He always starts out this way, George R.R. Martin. Okay. And it pisses me off because it's is he trying to make us feel sorry for him? I don't know. Oh, I'm so rich and busy. Everybody wants my stuff. Yeah, Token never gave updates. No, he just created a massive world and wrote pretty much a Bible to it. George starts in all different areas and hasn't finished anything yet. Let's see what you said here. Mutant Bamhammer says that's Sporking New. You are going to do more regular streams when HBO starts up spin-off content. Yes, for Game of Thrones again. Yeah, I will. Actually, this will probably be because yes, I am angry that we're not getting the books, but it is good content to cover. A lot of people love that content. I can't lie. I'm going to love and hate it all at the same. Hoping to get people like Jane Theory involved and Gary involved occasionally. And, a couple others that are really into it. I know Abu Nas gets into it too. So we'll get a couple people. It'll be good. Yeah. I'm sorry, I jumped on that one, but I am worried for my own sanity. Coming to terms with it is really hard because, and you can take over now, Grant, coming to terms with George not going to finish the books, even though I say it out loud, it's almost like I'm faking it to make it, because inside I'm like, well, he'll finish Dream of Spring, but really, I don't even think, I definitely know he won't finish Dream of, you see, I said, he might not. I definitely know he won't finish A Dream of Spring. And I don't know, and I don't think we're going to get a Winds of Winter before the worst happens. Now, some people have the feeling that he already wrote both books, and because of the climate of today, he doesn't want the harassment, and he's going to release them post. I used to not agree with that at all, because George defended his writing. It's medieval. It's dark, but these things happened in our actual history. But with him getting involved with so many other projects, to be canceled could really destroy his income. So I don't know. We shall see. What's up, Keck44? Good to see you here. We shall see. So we're going to read this though, and make sure, let me blow it up a little bit more so you guys can see it. Okay. So this was today, March 21st, 2022 at 10:13 a.m. This, that, and to other things. Too much to do, too much to do. Things are hopping, as my frogs told you down below. Now, he's talking about this right here, which after he pretty much told us we were screwed for A Song of Ice and Fire, he put out the House of the Dragon colors. Okay, so you got the greens and the reds. Frogs are hopping, get it? House of the Dragon's way more important than, I guess, A Song of Ice and Fire, which is your legacy. So anyways, I could be writing long posts here about a dozen things, but I am sure most of you would sooner I were writing fiction, producing films and television shows and editing anthologies. Does he know who his fans are? Like, does he understand the majority of fans will see? This is the problem with fans of George R.R. Martin. They fluff him. Okay. They do not like to say bad things about him. I was one of them. They feel protective of him because in the early days, he was one of them. He would, go to events. He would knight people into their, I forget the order of, I think it was the Order of the Green Hand group. He was really part of it, but he's since then become Hollywood in the past handful to decade and worried about more than his books, but people still will defend him nonstop. They will defend him nonstop because he's one of them. He's George. We can't talk bad about George. And the truth is, he has a right to be criticized. And we see how he reacts when people criticize him. He gets all upset. He attacks the fans. Why? Because the audacity of us asking him when is he going to finish the books? Like, there are writers, there are actors, producers out there that would trade places with him in a heartbeat. Even if it was a, cut and pay, just to not be treated the way their fans treat him. I mean, it is a protective world, this A Song of Ice and Fire world. And I always loved that about it. People always supported each other, but we're getting to the point where we're defending somebody who doesn't defend us or care about us anymore as the small knit group we were. I think, Michael, were you the one telling me this? Read Wildcards. You're like one of the only people I know that actually has read it. And I might give it a chance, but I don't know if I want to give him anything. I don't know if I do. If the book doesn't get finished, at least you still got season 8 to watch. Thanks a lot, dude. I was looking for a clip, and if anybody can find it, there was an interview after season 8 wrapped, maybe like right after, or maybe like a year or two after, where somebody was asking him questions about, does he plan on finishing the books? And his quick response was, I don't like telling the same story twice. Meaning they already answered it there. Why should I do it? Which was eye-popping. And I swear I saw it like in one of Gary's or somebody's videos very recent, or I saw it when I was looking through stuff for my own material. If anybody could find that, he literally said that, and it's very telling. Like, I think he did give them too much information, Dan and Dave, and was very unhappy with the finale and decided, F this, I'm going a different route. I have made the comparison also to, sorry about that, kids and stuff, making the comparison that the reason why we keep hearing about the Dunk and Egg stuff is because there's going to be a Dunk and Egg live action series. He wants to finish that first now because he doesn't want it to get ahead of him. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. I like Michael saying, stop buying trains, George. That is true. Okay. Now, that's a good question. In his writing, I want to say no. In his life, he is woke. He's a self-proclaimed feminist. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's gotten yelled at for calling himself that. But he is definitely woke. I mean, he's a deadhead. He grew up in the 60s, which I used to think was the coolest era till I realized they were probably the beginning downfall of society. But anyways, great music and movies. But yeah, I think he doesn't need to become it. He is, but his writing is something he always kept separate for whatever he's writing about, twisted. And a lot of his stuff is sci-fi and it's hive mentality, brain hive mentality and stuff like that. But, he wrote his own medieval take on a world, and he was going to be accurate to how women and slaves and highborns and regular folk are treated in a medieval culture. Katina says, well, now you just got to say, you old bastard, I want my damn Winds of Winter. Oh, God. I do want my Winds of Winter, George. I don't know if I'll say that, but I do. Yeah, George is woke. He is definitely woke. I did not read it. I'd love to know more about it. We will see. What do you have to say? Free Folk says at Sporking News Podcast, I can't believe he won't finish his books. Meanwhile, Brandon Sanders has a $30 million Kickstarter. Look, if George puts out a Winds of Winter tomorrow, it will be the highest grossing book in the last easy 10 years, and could be even more than that, because he did create, I was reading the books before the show came out, but I know a lot of people that picked up the books because of it, season 1. I know a lot of people like myself that even dove deeper into the lore, because between 4 and 5, it took so long. We wanted to learn everything we could, and George would edit a book and put one chapter like The Rogue Prince or The Princess and the Queen, and stuff like that. So you would buy these books just for his one chapter, just to learn more about the history. And I've said this before, compared to Tolkien, who wrote start to finish a history of how creation and the gods and I forget what it's called. Not the Malor, who I'm saying, but and all these people came to get up to the third, age. George writes his through the eyes of a historian, through the eyes of a maester who is writing for a particular king or leans towards a different king a different way. So he'll write depending on who his audience is and the climate of that culture. And I find that very interesting because that's how history has been written. What up, Soul Assassin? He says, I reckon Germ was hoping the show would finish the story, but after the failing of the final, he had to come up with material to finish it himself. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if anybody's read the, and we'll come back to this. I just want to show something different. Or actually, we'll just stay on that. I don't know if anybody has seen this, and what was I just about to look up? Holy crap, I blanked. What did Soul Assassin say? Let's failing of the final, come up with material to fail. Oh, duh. Has anybody seen the Winds sample chapter? So the Winds of Winter. I don't know why I feel like there can't be dead air, so I say what I'm typing. So we'll go to the ranking of. So there's 11 of them. And not all of them have been written. Some have been partially, taken from George reading a chapter at like a con or, something like that. But you got Tyrion 1, which was the first sample chapter. You have Barristan 2, so there has to be a Barristan 1, which is kind of stupid. Why is it like that? Can I just go to them all? Oh, because this is a ranking. You have Victorian 1. You have Elaine 1. I mean, so he's Barristan 1. So you have multiple characters, different areas. Ariana 1 and 2. Tyrion again. Mercy, which is Arya, which is a pretty dang good chapter. You have Theon 1, which is a great chapter. The Forsaken, which is the best chapter. And I'm not just saying that because they listed it as number 1. It's about Aeron Damphyr, who is the brother of Euron Greyjoy. And it is trippy and dark and weird and violent. And it is probably the best chapter he has ever written. So, when did that come out, though? That's a good question. When was that released? Was that pre or before or after? When did George release the Forsaken chapter? Okay. I don't know if wiki, so that should tell us. That just gives you kind of a breakdown of what it is. I wish it kind of told you when. Oh, here, wait a minute. The Forsaken chapter notes from reading at. So this was a reading. So it's not even the exact words, but pretty much a lot of people have confirmed this is what was said. So this was May 19th, 2016. And when did Game of Thrones game? Last air date. So May 29th, 2016. And the last episode concluded. Oh, wow. May 19th, 2019. All right. So maybe he was still feeling it. Shit. I didn't realize that. We shall see. We shall see. Damn it. I didn't realize that. I thought it was later. But that is definitely his greatest chapter, I think, of any of the books. I'm pretty sure people like Gary, if you've never heard Gary's reading of it, he does it. I don't know if it's only for channel members, but look that up. Nerdrotic, the Forsaken chapter. He reads it. Awesome. I wish he read more stuff like that. Really cool. Did a really good job. But that alone, that one chapter should make you realize how great because people are like, he's not even that good. He is. George R.R. Martin is a great writer. I don't know about his earlier stuff. Like, Michael saying the wild cards he loves, the 10,000 worlds or whatever it is. I just know in A Song of Ice and Fire and everything that comes with it, I love his writing. So let's finish this if I can. We have a new book coming out. Oh, yay. Of 10 Speeds in October, The Rise of the Dragon. An illustrated history. We talked about this. From Aegon's conquest to regency of the boy king Aegon III. I could show you the cover, British and American, but my mighty minions have already done that in the post below. Just scroll down and enjoy. The official announcement lays out the basic facts about the book as well. So I won't repeat that here. I just want to clear up the possible areas of confusion. You know what I'm confused about? Why I finished the goddamn book. In my blog post, 319, scroll even further down. I made mention of a lavish coffee table version of Fire and Blood done by Elio and Linda, who are fantastic. They're his encyclopedias. My partners. Yes, I was speaking of The Rise of the Dragon. So that's the coffee book he talked about in that video I did. If you haven't seen it, it's a decent video. Broke 1,000 on that. I don't usually do that, so that was good. That's the book he's talking about. It's a history covering the same years as Fire and Blood. We need a shorter book to make room for the art. Yeah, that would be great. That's the big thing about The Rise of the Dragon. It's not an encyclopedia. It's an art book, and it's gorgeous. What else he's have? The other book mentioned in 3.9 was the Who's Who's of Westeros. Who cares? Is coming as well, but not this fall. No, of course. Why would you rush any book out? That one is a way off. Might be a year or two. Lots of work to be done. As my editor complained, it's hard to do a Who's Who when I keep inventing characters. Really? Have you? Because I haven't seen any. There will be a second book out this year to tie. Okay, we got a second book to tie in with debut of House of the Dragon. But it won't be a new book, just an old one with a new cover. That's Fire and Blood, of course, because you need Archmaester Gildan's new artwork. Oh, as long as I'm setting stuff straight, there's a weird story all over the internet how I hid my initials in Elden Ring because some of the characters have names beginning with R or G or M, to which I say, what? Really? That's news. Oh, great. Along with, let's skip all that. Along with the other 23 letters of the alphabet. Okay, that's great. Coming up with the names is hard. Yeah, that's awesome. But really, why would I? Okay, Elden Ring done. Let me see. What else? Yeah, what else, George? What else you can tell us? Oh, I should mention the Sky Railway. He's talking about trains and sky trains, Michael. Has reopened for its spring season, Santa Fe to Lamy, with all sorts of fun new adventures. Check out the website, guys. Yay. Many of you reading this are fantasy fans. No shit. I know. Waiting for Winds of Winter. I know. But looking forward to the new TV show as well. Wait a minute. That's all you're going to give us? Ring of Power on September 2nd and House of the Dragon on. Well, you will know soon. It's only March. What should you watch in the meanwhile? I recommend The Last Kingdom, which he was tweeting about on this series finale of Game of Thrones. So, yeah. We all know you hated the last season, George. Just admit it. Based on Bernard Cornwell's Saxon Tales of Uhtred, son of Uhtred. The new season just went up. I haven't watched this. Everyone tells me I would love it, so I might have to check it out. It's not fantasy, but there's a lot of battles, blah, blah, blah. And Uhtred is a warrior who could give his best wish. Yeah, okay. A good show and will be missed. We'll feature. And Cornwell has a new sharp book out too. There's more, but I have other stuff to do, so I will sign off now. The horns are blowing. The frogs are hopping. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Can't even leave a comment. Can we? Let's see. Comments are disabled. He has disabled comments. Like, that used to be one of the cool things about Not a Blog, that you could write. Occasionally he'll let you still, but for the most part he knows we suck and he hates us. Yeah, I like that. I just saw what you wrote, Grant. That's awesome. Let's see what you guys have to say. I'm fed up with it. George is just lazy. Token fought a war, taught college, and still managed to finish the series. Yeah, and George is involved in a lot of things, but it's because he keeps saying yes. Everyone who, again, makes excuses for him. He could say no or say, yeah, I'll lend my name to that, but I'm working on this. No, he wants to be involved in everything. And has he earned the right? I actually used to always say yes, but now I'm saying no. You are not. If you're not going to finish your opus, why the hell do I care? But see, he's creating the world of Westeros and the lore of Westeros. So when he is gone, it could still be used. Games, books, comic books, TV. he is building something massive that's more than just A Song of Ice and Fire. And he's kind of admitted to that here too. Yeah, we do have him on trampolines somewhere. Hey Bosch, what's up, brother? I figured he was done with the books a while ago. I know. Brahma Bull. Hey gents, how you doing? Oh, E Clay is in the house. Spork, what up? I am here. Pop, I swear we will do something together soon. I know you probably sent me an email, but I suck. My life is so busy. DMs and emails are the best way. I apologize. But guys, let me put Pop. DM me right now your link to your channel, though. I know I have it. So actually, you might not have to do that. Pop. Should be here somewhere. I'm going to put your link in the chat. I love everybody to help out this channel. Actually, why don't I just go to my people I support? So my subscriptions and alphabetical. And I can't remember how to do that. Oh, here we go. Wow, I have a lot of people I follow. Holy crap. Well, when you want to help out everybody, you try, you know. And I apologize to anybody I don't give shout outs to. It's not on purpose that I forget or anything. Oh, we are trying to get, though, Makini Draws to over 1,000. He's getting close to 900. Makini has been part of the fandom in the chats from the beginning. And he's a huge backer of everybody, guys. So if you could please support him, please do. Makini is awesome. I'll put his link too. But right now I'm looking for Pop. Why do I not have Pop? Am I thinking of the name of your channel? No, there it is. Pop. 621 subscribers. So I am going to put Pop in there right now. They got some good debates and stuff. So please make sure you check them out. So this is Pop's channel. And I will also put Makini in there because Makini deserves it, guys. He has been working his butt off trying to grow this thing. And I really, really respect the dude. He used to stream on here a lot. I've changed, and it's nothing to him. It's just I've changed my lineup a bit, trying new things out. But he's always, maybe I'll have Makini on a Monday with me, just me and him. That'd be cool. Makini, if you're in the chat, let me know if you want to do that. That would be really cool. So, Makini Draws. Here is his link. Because he is great. A lot of you guys have channels, so I apologize. Like I know Rough Girl has a channel. Bunch of you guys do. So please check out everybody. Oh, there's Rough Girl right there. Hey, party people. I liked Tyrion the best of Game of Thrones until Dinklage became a dick. Well, actually, I liked Tyrion up until they ran out of George's material. Because Tyrion was the smartest character. Tyrion was George. A piece of him. Like if you took Tyrion, Sam from The Watch, and maybe a bit of Bran or Jon and put it all into one person, that's what George really is and who he would want to be. But they ran out of material. So if you watch seasons 1, I would say through 4, watch how smart and well written he is. And then please tell me how he is in the last seasons when all he does is look at people and make mistakes. It's stupid. Yes, guys, our good friend Drew, he is was part of the Fourth Wave, part of Rogue when we were doing Rogue, he's part of United Underground, nice loose base group of people trying to support each other. His mom is not doing well. So if you guys, have him on Twitter, shoot him something positive. He's really in a bad, dark, tough place. I've lost both my parents at a younger age. It's tough. We lose, people. It's tough. It's really tough. When they leave, we're here left alone, and that's sometimes really hard to reckoning. And he was a good son, always taking care of her. So please support him. Throw out some love to Drew. breaks my heart to see that. So Tyrion was bad because if you look at the shadow on his, maybe. Anybody in the chat, can anybody support? Yeah, Girls on Trampolines. That used to be the Man Show, who, what's his name from The Tonight Show was a part of, or Jimmy Kimball, who now is Mr. Uber Left, who like pretended like he never did anything like that. It's hilarious. Let me know is there anyone in the chat that believes we will get Winds of Winter before George passes, or at least Winds of Winter, or we will get both before he passes. If you believe that, put it in the chat, and hopefully Mr. Grant could see that, because I'd be shocked. I thought one of the last holders of that. Me, Jane too, and I think Jane's finally breaking also. But while you guys do that, I found this article. A good friend of the channel, Andre over at Midnight's Edge, the founder of, asserts that Batman goes off the rails by embracing an ideopolitical message. So I haven't read this yet. If you know me well enough, you know that I don't read ahead. So if I fumble with names, I apologize, or anything. Midnight's Edge, and thank you. How many people do we have in the chat? We have 30 people. Holy crap. We have 30 people in the chat. I don't know why, but I thank you for that. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, pop it in there. Oh God, did I see According to Christy? Yeah, it is. Thank God she put that. It is an amazing chapter. Christy is one of my Song of Ice and Fire friends, and I'm hoping that she'll come back on Monday nights with us when the show comes back on. Me, her, and Jane, maybe, and Gary if he wants to, and cover the show. I hope she will do that with us because I love Christy, and I haven't gotten to see her in a while. Kiss my grits. So, friend of the channel, again, Andre, Midnight's Edge founder, asserts that Matt Reeves and Warner Brothers, the Batman film completely fell apart, botched its ending by embracing an ideopolitical message. Does anybody think that? Let's first, before we act like everybody here knows what that means, let's see what that is. Oh, wow, he's the first one. Okay, so why don't we put political definition? Because I know of pertaining to ideology and politics. So one of the parties, I'm guessing, one person's belief that leans on their politics and their ideology. And that is a big thing going on right now. But I wanted to make sure everyone knew what that means, because I thought it could also be used in a different way, but I might be wrong. But here we go. Let's see what Andre has to say. Andre's definitely a smart dude, smarter than I. So Andre says I don't know how to say his last name. Einherjar shared his opinion about the Batman in a video titled Why the Batman Fell Apart Towards the End. Spoilers, everybody. It's a very good video. Please check it out. In the video, he first begins by praising the Batman, stating, up until a certain point, relatively far into the movie, this is in many ways the best Batman movie ever, or at least it is right up there with them. Do you agree? I thought it was really good. If you take into consideration it's year 2, I can't get by the bulletproof Batman. I hated that. It is something that really ruined the movie for me. I mean, taking 2 fully automatic rifles to the chest and not even like getting thrown back, nothing, is ridiculous. Year 2, a leaner, slimmer, more agile Batman should be doing everything in his power to be agile and get out of the way of things. But he just walks through bullets like they're nothing. That Batman is amazing because he is a man playing a superhero, you know? But anyways, that's my feelings on it. I still enjoyed the movie, but I really had to push that to the back of my head. The tone, the cinematography, and the score are all fantastic, and they all work in perfect unison, which with each other. What this movie gets the most right, though, is the Batman is the real character. Bruce Wayne is just an empty shell. He's the mask of a man that Batman, much to his chagrin, out of necessity, sometimes has to revert back into. That is put perfectly. I felt like they didn't do enough of, Alfred talked about it, but they didn't do enough of him trying to learn to be Bruce Wayne. I think with spoilers for the Batman, I'm not going to say exactly what happens, but what happens at the end of the movie, he is going to need to be both Bruce Wayne and the Batman to save the city. And I hope they lean into that in the second movie. For most of the screen time, he is Batman being a detective and selective about which of Gotham's countless crimes to address. And that I feel is a key to what worked about the movie really clicking. Despite the high praise for most of the film, Andre notes that the movie fell apart when Zoe Kravitz Catwoman makes a comment about white privilege, which it did bother me. See, this is the problem. It's always about white privilege or, white male privilege. Instead of being what Batman should be about is class wars. You have these uber rich people, almost like the Hunger Games. You have the uber wealthy, the elites of Gotham that, they do their philanthropy. Can I say that? And donate their money to the slums. But really, a lot of them do that tax write-offs. Maybe they feel bad because their company actually harms the city. Do it to cover what their company actually does. It's class war. It's not about white privilege. But he goes on. It's a line that may have reported took them out of the movie as it brought real world, contemporary American politics into it, which is absurdly did only in more subtle and insidious ways than what is immediately oblivious. Again, it's not, and I'm going to come back to the screen so I can see you guys. It is not about white privilege. It's about the elites. Let's see who's here. Wiener, floppy wiener, 2 wieners next to another wiener. Was that to Batman? At Sporking News Podcast, Gary at Nerdrotic won't let us bully him into playing Elder Rings, but can we bully you into it? If you buy me a system, what system can I play? I have Xbox Live, I think. I don't actually use it, but it's like Xbox Live on my computer. Can I play it through that? I don't know these things. My Xbox, I had a PlayStation 4 and they crapped out because they sucked for ventilation and it died. So let me jump ahead. What's up, punk? Wow, we got some great people in the chat, man. Vertical Ryan, Mr. Batsu. We had a great conversation on one of my videos. Thank you for being here. Monster Huntress Ron. It's sad that even the hacks, Dave and Dan. Yeah, finish the story. Holy crap, you're so right. Oh, I saw Liger fans up in here. The Jinja Ninjas up in here. Wow, we got some great people up in here. Awesome one. Another monster. Of course. Sup. Y'all relax. He's here. Larry, one of my channel members and a great dude. Why start reading Game of Thrones? There's no reason to, man. I've come to terms. There is no reason anymore to do it. And it sucks. I wasn't listening. Did I hear? And now girls jump on trampolines. No, fat guy jumping. Ginger Ninja. Have you ever listened to David Lightbringer? And, oh yeah. Yeah, totally. Very interesting. I really enjoy his takes. Some of his stuff is really out there. I love his idea that the story of the 2 moons, one cracking and the dragons coming out because it got too close to the sun was actually a comet or a moon destruction. He's really cool. I would love to talk to him about Game of Thrones. I love the people from History of Westeros. Forgetting the main guy's name, but we're Facebook friends and we got into massive political arguments because we're different. with that, but really good guy. One of my favorite channels that did it, History of Westeros, Lightbringer, In Deep Geek, Smokescreen, Chris from Smokescreen. Let him know I sent you. I love Chris. He's one of my favorites. Down to earth guy, writer too. Hope he gets supported. Teflon Don, who I've talked to. I was supposed to do some stuff with him, but we haven't talked in a really long time. I hope he's doing well. There's others. I'm just blanking at the moment, but yeah, there's some great channels. Anybody else having trouble with Pop's channel loading? Did I not give his full? Let me try sharing it again. Let me know if you guys have an issue with Pop's link. And please don't forget to support Makini too. We got to get him there. Yeah, I lost my my dad at 23 and my mom at 34. I was like a month clean from drugs and alcohol. I lost my mom. Thank God I had some good people around me and really wanted to stay clean, because that would have been a great excuse. But I realized it wasn't about me, her passing. It was about supporting my family and remembering, the lessons they taught me. So I really do pray for him. Let's jump down though. Let's talk about Batman. Check my DMs. Okay, Christy. Oh, I'll send you the link. Hell yeah. Jump on. That'll be fun. It's been too long. We're going to get a Christie sighting. Holy crap. This is awesome. Are you talking about Smokescreen? Because yeah, he is cool. I love Smokescreen. Let him know I love him too. I used to be Mr. Scotty 301. Oh, what is that other channel I used to love? I haven't watched in so long. Order the Green Hand. Those guys are fantastic. And also like Preston Jacobs is probably one of my favorites, and Red Team Review. I love them doing their stuff together. But the Order of the Green Hand, when they do an actual, like, their live streams are great, but when they do a video, man, I can't miss it. They're so good. They look at it completely different than other people. Let's see. Okay, so let's read a little bit. There she is. Hello, Christy.
Hi.
How you been?
I'm even on camera too.
I know. What is going on? Hold on. Let's go inside. How have you been, my friend?
I am well and wonderful. Gotta love this. What do you want? Every
My cat
time.
was doing that before. Yeah, every time, right?
My
cat does the same thing. It is good to see you. What is going on with you?
Nothing. I wanted the link earlier because you were talking about with George and everything like that. But all the channels that you mentioned, I mean, they're great.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, what are some of your favorites?
In Deep Geek is
he's awesome.
One of my favorites who is more impartial. I would say LML.
Impartial how though? Like In Deep Geek is more impartial when it comes to like theories and rumors and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think does he hold George accountable, you think? Does anybody? Really?
Probably not.
No.
It's like you can see the Targaryen banner that I have right there. I mean, I have
your shit.
I have a lot of shit. I'll even take my camera.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even do this, but like there's Westeros, there's like Khal Drogo, there's John, Brienne. Like,
I mean, I used to have so much fun doing the book club with you guys.
Yeah, me too.
We should do like once a month, do at least like theories and stuff still, because I still love talking about it.
Me too. I mean, it does get repetitive and stuff like that. And there's only so much you can talk about.
Yes.
So I get taking like the break and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was needed, but I'm hoping that you will join me, and I'm hoping Jane, maybe Gary doing Monday night, like covering House of the Dragon episodes.
Has there been like a confirmation when it's supposed to like appear type thing?
No, you know what?
No?
Let me just double check this. I want to say he actually says it's coming soon.
I mean, when is it soon? Because I know it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it not supposed to be like through HBO Max?
Yes.
Instead of like just like HBO, it's like the whole HBO Max type thing, and like.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't said anything. Oh, here it is. It says to tie in with the debut of House of the Dragon. Version cover. No, doesn't say when, and I haven't heard anything yet. A lot of people are saying like they're literally saying the end of this April, which is impossible, or May. I think if anything, it's going to be like maybe like the end of the summer.
I could see that because how you would do it is like with HBO. I don't even know when it's supposed to be. If it's supposed to be Sundays like Game of Thrones was, but like
I believe so. I would hope so. Yeah. You
would have like if a new show, like Euphoria, I think is that new one of the. I think it's on season 2 or the finale, but like something like that where you would have. If it's a good show or the hype and stuff like that, you would want to start it up like right after that. So I wouldn't see why I would say before September.
I would hope so.
Guess. That would be.
I would definitely. Guess. Yeah, that sounds about right. I can't imagine it being. They have been waiting on this forever. So I'm sorry, real quick, Pops. I am gonna make you a moderator for a couple minutes. So you can actually, and no disrespect, I have way too many moderators. But I'm adding you as one. Please share your link because I guess the one I keep sharing isn't doing the right thing. So throw your thing in there, bro. And guys, again, Makini, please support Makini. But if we get, look, the Dance with Dragons is an interesting. It is the beginning of the end for the Targaryens. It's interesting. The dragons, there's going to be like 20 of them. So that's going to be awesome. My feelings on the race swapping though. It screws up the continuity of the canon. It like really throws off the whole paternity of one of the grandchildren, but whatever. I'll still monetize the hell out of them and cover it. And hopefully it'll be good.
I mean, it's just like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. If you want the politics and shit, that's fine. That's your business. But I'm just like, this is supposed to be medieval Europe. Right. Like, if there's no black people, and if there is, they're like traitors.
It's not good for them.
It's not good for them. And if they're not. No offense, if they're not slaves, then they're traders from like other regions,
which George has
from afar type thing. So
the Summer Isles, parts of Essos.
Yeah, and if that is what they're going for, that's fine because Corlys is supposed to be like the best adventurer ever, like sailing all over. But you think it would been established is my thing.
Yeah, I mean they are doing a show of his too, the Sea Snake.
What?
Yeah, they're doing. I want to say, I love having you on.
Hello.
Okay, so it seems that our host has just booted himself.
I do that. How aren't you used to that yet? How are you not used to me being an idiot? I got so excited to share something, I just backspaced. Oh, what a moron. Okay.
You good, Scott? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Oh, God, I'm a moron. So, what were we just talking about?
Where did he go?
Oh, he's backstage. He helps produce my show.
Oh.
He's awesome. Mr. Grant Gregory's awesome. So the one on the 9th, this is the one that he talked about a lot of this. So let's see. I'm such an idiot. Let's see. How did you feel about this when he says, like he knows people are only worried about the one project, meaning the Winds of Winter. And he goes, I am sorry for you. They all matter to me. Like, what a dick.
Oh, and I mean, he's created the series. So, I mean, and I understand that it matters to him. And maybe the story's not there, the whole writer's block type thing. I mean, I'm just like...
No, I think he's being a petulant little baby.
I mean, it's been 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's been 11 years, 8 months, and 12 days.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know what bothers me the most is this part. He goes, yes, of course I'm still working on the Winds of Winter. I've stated that hundreds of times in 100 venues. And having to restate it endlessly is just worrisome. What I was saying at the beginning of my stream is I had like lisping for some reason. Or like I have one of these things going on right now.
Who cares? I do that too.
I don't know why. Yeah. But he, it's like he is one of the most protected authors or celebrities I've ever seen. Like YouTubers protect him, his fans protect him, media protects him, his editor protects him. Like if he's hundreds of venues, so in the 11 years almost that we've been waiting, you've been asked maybe a handful of times, maybe 10 at the most a year about this. Think about like what J.J. Abrams has been through. Think about like Ryan, you know, people like for the Star Wars fandom or, you know, the MCU fandom when they get angry. Like George is always protected.
I mean, I don't know those fandoms like I do this one. So but I can see the hoopla and stuff about it. It's just, it's so weird. Because, like, I'm 37 now, and I read the first book when I was 12.
Right.
So,
That's crazy.
I mean,
what year did you start? When were you 12? I can't do the math that quick. What year was that?
I was born in 84. So, like, 96, 97.
Yeah, so when the first books really came, the second book came out, I think, in 96.
Because I had an older cousin who had the first book.
Yeah.
So
I didn't start reading. I started reading like in rehab around there. Like, because I needed something and I hated reading. But my now wife bought the first book for me and I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put it down. It was just, I loved how he was able to talk in all these different people's point of views. And I love the way he explained and expressed the world, or like just the descriptions and the adjectives he used. The dude's a genius when it comes to writing.
I think that's what a disservice to the show was, especially when the normies, they're just like, Ned Stark was killed. Bitch, that was like 11 years ago. I already knew that. So.
I used to love people that filmed their friends, like, because they didn't know. That's
like
awesome.
when the end of season 5 when Jon was killed.
Oh yeah, right. And like that just goes to show you like the defining moments where you could tell they ran out of George's stories. So right now, Jon has been dead for over 10 years because we haven't got the next book, or dying in the snow. But what did they do with it? They resurrected him, and then it was nothing. It meant nothing.
It meant nothing.
But you know, in George's world, he's going to come back either more wolf or dead inside. You know, like he's going to come back different. What he calls fire whites.
I think maybe, I mean, to a certain point, not so much as defending George, but like with the popularity of the show as it grew, and you could tell like season by season that it did veer off from the source material. And sometimes that's fine, but have a basic storyline with it. But like with Talisa and Robb Stark,
that what was it? Because like in the books, again,
it's Gene Westerling.
Right, it's Gene Westerling. Their family is closer to the Lannisters. She nursed him back to health. he had sex with her and thought he had to marry her because he got her pregnant. But like the Westerlings might be actually working against Robb, and we never really learned that, except not her, but her family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what I found really cool was like, when you read that first book and what happens to Ned, you're just like, holy crap, he'll do it to anybody. And then the Red Wedding, a few books later, like he just always, what you think he's setting up, he destroys. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they killed off the dad. The son's going to be the, one of the heroes. Mm-hmm. Nope. Like, and I wonder if, he's gotten so caught up on, Dany and writing a story that shocks people that, he just wrote himself into corners and he wrote himself into plot holes and he just doesn't know how to get out of it.
I mean, I get it with you could see with Daenerys and like the whole white savior complex and stuff like that. Yes. Do I not see it like that? Sure. But I'm just like, there's more character to it. Yes. And what I was always thought a disservice was the beginning of season 7 at the where the phrase where Arya poisoned all the Freys.
Oh God.
And stuff like that.
Yep.
That was the pinnacle for her, in my opinion. And her character did nothing.
Right.
Afterwards. And you but what I mean is you have the buildup, even with her being Mercy in the books for right now, but you know what it's leading up to something. And in season 3, we knew Arya was going to kill the Night King.
Bullshit.
She saw green eyes and brown eyes and blue eyes.
Yeah. Nobody has blue eyes. Yeah. That angered me because even if they didn't have Jon finish off the Night King at the end, who we learned nothing about, and it only took a night. It wasn't that long of a night, but
no,
they should have had somebody involved in Jon's story. To have Arya out of nowhere kill him, it's like, what? What is that? It makes no sense.
I mean, like, here, you have this guy right here. The Night King right here.
Oh, I'm going to blow him up. Let me see. I want to see him, so I'm going to blow it up.
You have this guy.
Yeah.
And then you have this guy.
Who is Jon Snow.
Yep. And then you have her.
That would be Dany.
That's Dany. And it meant nothing.
Right. Nothing.
Meant nothing.
And you were touching on it before, like if George wrote the story, first of all, the show took somebody else's storyline and made it Dany's at the end. Because Jon Con is the one that would freak out if he heard bells because he lost to Robert, causing the Targaryens to fall, he believes. Dany, bells are Dothraki victory. Why would bells trigger her? Like George would write, if he plans on making her the villain, he will make it so we actually, holy crap, we've been cheering her on this whole time. And she really is this, she's turning into this, depraved or whatever the word is, person. We just didn't see it.
I would always go to,
McQueen.
I've read fan fiction since the show has ended. Mm-hmm. I would love to where it, sure, you know what? It ends up as Bran.
So this is round 2, or
what is wrong with me?
That's not the right button. So.
I keep wanting to go back to the other story just so we're on the tab, and I keep screwing it up. I'm sorry. Chris, I leave you hanging.
There's a little red button,
and it doesn't. And I don't do anything except laugh because I know
that's all you need to do. That's all because I'm an idiot. Thank you, both of you. You're amazing. I don't even
remember what I was saying.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I know what it was. So
yeah,
even with fan fiction and theories and stuff like that. I would love it to see where just Bran was just evil. At the end, and it wasn't Bran, it was just the 3-eyed raven type thing. I mean, or was it like the Night King wasn't destroyed or something like that.
Right. I thought,
But
and
it was
well,
nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to that one that you just had, the nerd pool, or nerd po real. Bran is the main villain of the series. Changed my mind. I believe Bran will be at least his body as a vessel for something evil, because I don't care what anybody tells me. I've been told I've been wrong. A lot of bigger channels, when I typed it in, their chats, for the world, Song of Ice and Fire crowd, told me I was wrong, but
it's an opinion.
It is, but if you look at Bran's dreams, the Brendan Rivers comes to him as a weirwood tree. The three-eyed raven or crow is not him. He is not the three-eyed crow. When we get to the cave and he asks Leaf, is he the three-eyed crow? She doesn't understand what he means. When he asks Brendan Rivers, are you the three-eyed crow? He thinks, he means the crow, like a night's watchman. Yes, I was a night. Like, he has no clue who that is. That's somebody different or something else different. That is going to take over Bran. There's going to be a battle for Bran's soul. And I think that would be so interesting to watch. But they turned him into a computer. Fucking stupid. Stupid.
I love with the shows, there was like the reactions. They're just like Bran. One of my favorites is they call Bran a bird simulator. And another one is
why do they call him a bird simulator?
Because he just sits there and he was in birds.
So he's a bird simulator. Yeah, it's like a VR bird
okay,
game.
I just got it.
And another one, a girl, I know she's in the United Kingdom, but she's just like, I just want to give a massive round of applause to Bran. He got that throne by just fucking sitting there or something like that. And it's just like
doing nothing, telling us about nothing. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't think George is going to make the others they want destruction. They're not. They are a different species. They're a different being. They have their own language. They have, right in the very first, what do you call that? Before the first chapter. Yes, thank you. The prologue, they're looking for someone. They're looking for something, Jon Snow. But they laugh. They have communication. There is a reason they're doing what they're doing. They're not mindless. Just Dan and Dave were too stupid to understand what they had.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly thought at the end of the series it was going to turn out that Bran was manipulating everyone, because you've seen he had the ability to take over people's minds and everything like that within the series, and I genuinely thought that's what he was doing with Tyrion and the rest of the council. As soon as no one opposed, his rule, and also, by the way, his sister getting her own thing, and then everyone else. I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is what they're doing. This is actually pretty clever. Oh no, I guess not.
Yeah, not. Yeah. Tyrion, tell me the difference between Tyrion season 1 and season 8.
None.
No, big. See, I see a big difference.
I saw a big difference too, but in the end, it didn't amount to anything.
Well, it didn't. You're absolutely right. But just him being a different character, he was a completely different character. And people, that's another thing. The defenders out there, well, he went through a lot and he grew. No, he became stupid because Dan and Dave they couldn't think like George.
People, where was it? Pops in the chat. He was speaking as an entire GOT normie. Right. People don't realize Tyrion in the books hates Jaime.
Oh yeah.
And he already hated Cersei, but he hates Jaime. And people don't realize that. And sure,
hates him. Loved him
because of what happened with his wife.
Right. So he was married before to a girl. Yeah, Taisha.
I'm not pronouncing that wrong, but
right. It's Taisha or Taisha, but he's told by his brother that Tyrion's father paid, Jaime said he paid her to be make Tyrion feel better about himself, not to marry him. So what does Tywin do? Gives every one of his troops a silver coin to rape her, and then made Tyrion finish her off with a gold coin because, Lannisters always pay their debts. Turns out it was a lie. I mean, he despises his brother because he was happy and he took that from him. Yeah, what a great writer. What a complex character too.
I mean, and I've had, like, you highlighted Katina's comment where she's never read the books, it's only the show. You can still go back and look at the Wikipedias and stuff like that too, because I mean, I had read the books, but it had been what was it? It had been years since I'd read them, so I had to catch up again. But it's like yeah.
Right.
I don't
No,
know.
you're right. You know what? Take Abu Nas, for instance. He has never read the books, but man, his knowledge on the world and the history is so, yeah, he never read the books.
That kind of freak.
Dude, think about him talking with us. I had him on the show with us. He knows the history back and forth because he started watching all different videos and the lore videos, and he just fell in love with the world. So he is another person. Like, I could see someone like Raging Rhino, if he got into it, diving deep into the canon, because it's so like interesting and different, and there's so much of it, and there's stuff that like they just barely touch on that makes your imagination start going. But yeah, he never read the books. So like, even people that just watched the series, if you start watching lore videos and then theory videos from some of the people we talked about and myself, it's interesting as shit, man. You don't need to read the books to like want to learn more. But what you will miss out on is the amazing writing, which again, I am not much of a reader, so get the audiobooks and just listen.
I was literally about to say that. Roy Dotrice does an amazing job on the books.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal, because I didn't actually read the books until John died on the TV series, and then I was just like, oh, it's going to be ages till the next season. I want to know what happens. So
right.
I thought I'll just jump into the next book, and I'm like, oh, it's not out yet. Okay, well, I'll catch up on these books by next season. By the time that happens, the book will be out.
Right.
Yeah. So I read them, and then 4 years went by, and I thought, well, I'll read them again. I thought, no, I'll get the audiobooks. And then every time I was doing work, or I was on a train or anything like that, I would just sit there and listen to it, and I forgot how awesome of a character someone like Euron is portrayed in comparison to.
He's such a badass in the book. I mean, he's not a badass. I mean, he's bad.
He's evil.
He's cruel. He's vindictive. His idea of internal justice and punishment on those who have wronged him is insane. Having his brother and everything locked up in the ship.
But see, I think he's even beyond that. He is beyond, like, he plays a part of, like, he's involved as a king. Truthfully, he could care less about any of it. He's just a twisted son of a bitch that wants to be a god.
Yeah, it's the power that he craves, and the fact of the matter is that having the throne will give him more power is the only reason why he would even anticipate that. And the fact that he's been to places in the world that no one has been to, and especially with that whole coming back with the Valerian armor and everything, like that's something I wanted to see. I didn't want to see a 70s, Tommy rock star,
right,
bragging about how he's going to fuck the queen.
Yeah, he's like Hot Topic. We were calling him Hot Topic pirate. Like, I feel bad for that actor because he was given a role that could have been something that people remembered forever. I mean, just how he plays, again, the part of a king, makes people want to follow him. He makes people want to die for him, makes women fall in love with him. And truthfully, he could care less about anybody. He just wants to cause havoc and be a god. Just think about the girl that he's like, oh, you're going to have my baby. And he doesn't care.
He doesn't
about his heirs. He doesn't care about anything. And I love how George made every villain worse and worse, but more depth. Like you have Joffrey, who's just a psychopathic, whiny little bitch. Then you have Ramsay, who is just a mind game torturing, just lunatic. And then you have Hot Topic, Hot Topic. Oh my god,
no, he's
you're
a hot
wrong.
he's a Hot Topic pirate.
Yeah, I mean in the show
really
definitely. Yeah,
And in the show.
And he has teleporting powers as well.
they all do. I mean, they all take the
The
midnight train.
what is it? The Westeros Express.
Yeah, the Westeros Express, where a bird can fly from beyond the wall to Dragonstone and then Dany back. Or you can actually have, what's his name, Run.
Yeah, Run. Yeah, he runs the length of England.
Yeah, to the wall. Yep. Doesn't drop dead. Yep.
Sends a Wi-Fi bird. Yeah, she gets the message. She takes the tunnel.
Yep.
The direct one there. Yeah.
The only thing I could say is with a dragon, I'll give you a break on that. With a dragon, you could get anywhere pretty damn quick. But
Sure,
then think,
with the dragon.
well, let's look at this. And I'm not going to do it again. I promise I'm not going to do it again. But George showed some pictures of the... Oh, no, cancel. Wow, I almost did it again. Holy crap. I almost did it again. I almost went to not a block. Thank God it asked me if I wanted to leave this page. Look at the size of the people compared to the size of the dragons. And these are not the biggest dragons either. Like in the show, Dany is much bigger than that compared to Drogon. Mm-hmm. And Drogon's supposed to be like Balerion the Black Dread. So if we look at Balerion, how would you spell that?
Balerion, I think.
Yeah, I got close. Images of him. I mean, you look at the size of him with a rider on him. Hold on, let me get this up here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Nope. Oh, shit, I'm downloading it? Oh, that might not be good for my computer. Oh, God. But let's do it as an overlay then, as someone just hacked my computer because I'm an idiot. I'm such a moron. You guys talk while I do this.
Scott knows Hooters.
Exactly. So was it Balerion? I think that they mentioned in the show it was Balerion's skull that was underneath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Balerion. But like even that picture doesn't do him justice. That person should be about half the size. Like massive dragons. I hope we see something a little bit better with that this time around. But like, I don't know. I feel bad. Well, I feel bad for us who read the books that we're not going to get them. I feel bad for people that got brought in from Game of Thrones and started reading the books and now got ripped off. I feel bad for people who became major fans like Abu Nas of the series and all the videos that went with it and got ripped off. It's normies who don't care how it really ended. But even them, did any of you people have friends that were normies that were like, that was terrible?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I did. I mean, I've posted like stuff on Twitter before where like my parents finally like watched it and oops, that bell. And like my stepdad hated it.
Right.
I need to find the quote that he said. But what about you, Mr. Grant Gregory?
Yeah, a lot of my friends who were quote unquote normies didn't like it. The fact that they're like, oh, but why did she turn evil? What happened? Is she under a spell? They thought that there must have been something with the bells, specifically that like that the bells rang and then there was some sort of magic spell or something on it that turned it that way. The majority of people really wanted to know why the Hound threw himself into fire. It's like he'd never do that. Like,
right?
Isn't he afraid of fire?
Right. I mean, to take out his brother, he would overcome fire, maybe. But You're absolutely right. Like when I explained to because my normie friends too, like, why did the bells, like, what, is there something in the lore? I'm like, no, and I explained to him, well, there's a John Connington. He lost to Ned really because he didn't destroy the city trying to find Robert, and Robert went on to live and win the kingship, killing his friend. That's why the bells are horrible. But when it comes to Dany, Dothraki, bells mean you're a winner. And they were like, oh, that makes
that's their war chant when they've conquered their enemies. Like,
So
sorry, you go.
Which one, me or Scott?
No, you go.
So I found the quote that my stepdad said about Jon and Dany.
Okay, let's hear it.
He said Jon and Dany have about the same chemistry of sandpaper fucking an alligator.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And I about died. I just like, yeah.
Can I just say that is probably the best way of putting it? Like, what I love too is they had no chemistry, and yet they barely knew each other, and she like was about to give up everything for him and had a nervous breakdown. Like, they never grew that relationship, and really sad because they're two really good looking people that if they were much better actors, I don't know who's the one that
Scott,
could.
It's also hard to portray a really awesome, auntie nephew love relationship.
I mean,
it's not the weirdest one in there, but when it's your leads.
Yeah, but only
Right.
like Jon's grandparents, the Stark grandparents, were first cousins, and
Well, cousins are the same sort of. At least they're in the same line. It's not, it's.
Well, it's kind of like with the Queen of England and her husband Prince Philip.
Right.
For him to rest in peace, they were second cousins. So it's just like.
It's like we're related. Yeah, only by blood.
This is supposed to be in like medievalist or like times with Europe and stuff like that. So it's not. Yeah, I hope y'all get what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I get what you're
even
saying.
in the 20th century, where there was like Charles was going to propose to his second cousin, also.
Right.
And so it's just like, it's not that. It's not that out there. In
no. I mean,
21st century and stuff like that.
A lot of people in royal families will stay within the bloodline.
Yeah.
The problem with the Targaryens is they did sometimes go out of the bloodline. Check my video on that, talking about the sea snake and how that makes no sense. But the amount of, they have to be a magical race because of the amount of inbred breeding they had. They should never have been able to have children, like after like a generation or two, or those kids should be really messed up. And a lot of them did have miscarriages with like babies that were like half dragon, half baby. So he tried to implement some of that.
Yeah, wasn't there like an extremely low fertility rate as well with them? I remember something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Think of it like this: Maester Aemon, the old guy at the wall. His mother was Diana Dane. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They got married, and then Aegon the Unlikely married Bertha Blackwood, and then they had their. It's the line is not that pure until you
not anymore.
Well,
then Dany's mom.
With of course, Aerys and Rhaella were full-blooded siblings, and their parents were full-blooded siblings also.
Right, so they got that freaky deaky blood purity thing going on. No, but you're right. All of Aegon's kids married people that were, most of them married people outside of their bloodline. That's how you got Robert had a claim to the crown. Because his grandmother was a Targaryen. It's happened through history. Even if they don't go out of Valyrian blood, they would marrying like Valerians, and there's that other house. But it was rare for a very long time for them to go any farther outside of that bloodline because they were worried about not having the Dragon Rider DNA in them, you know?
Yeah.
It's aggravating. Did you see, you know what? I love what we're talking about, but I do want to see what Andre's saying on this. No. Don't you leave. Did you see the Batman movie?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to finish up.
You can talk about it. I mean, it's like if I watch it, I'm going to be a pirate type thing. It's not something that I'm going to.
I'll send you my link. I can't make it to the movies. I mean, what? So he's talking about this, and he goes, for the most of, I'm sorry, we're jumping back into the Batman because I really want to see what Andre has to say. Talking about Batman being a detective, all that good stuff. And it wasn't until Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman, makes a comment about white privilege. What I was saying, and Grant, I'd love to hear what you have to say. When it comes to Gotham, it's not about white privilege. It's about the elites and the poor. It's a class thing. It's not race. It's not anything like that. So I understand where Andre's already going to go with this. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I haven't actually seen this article. I've seen the video that he makes. So yeah, you're right about that. It's a class thing. Gotham they barely even have a middle class. They have an lower class, a lower class, and the elites. The elites aren't all rich white people. A lot of them are, but there's a big chunk of them that aren't. And depending on what sort of law and where they're taking it from, it really depends on. Because we get a sense of what Gotham is, but we don't get a sense of what the world is.
Right.
So it's really hard to tell. Gotham could be an outlier. Is Gotham like Chicago in the real world? Is it like Detroit? Or is it like, is it like the best place to be? We don't really get any sense of the rest of the world. So
right.
Within the confines of what it is, the only reason that I think it must be filled with, with rich white people is because the comment was made.
Well, I mean, it definitely, that was why it was made. And it's one of those things like, okay, so a lot of the people the Riddler went after are rich white men that run the city. You didn't even have to say it. Like we already saw what they were going with. We already know what they were implying. And then it was like just to make sure everybody knows, they stick that one line in it. And it did, like I said before, the one thing that took me out the most of this movie is that he's bulletproof. That was something though that I was like, why did they even have to put that? Like, it's a class thing. It's not a white privilege thing. And I understand what they were going for. They didn't need her to say that, but he goes on to say there is a point in the movie where it nukes the fridge, if you will, and it never recovers from it. It is heralded by one line uttered by Catwoman in which she says the white privilege thing. It is a line that may have took them out of the movie as it brought real world commentary, American politics into it, which is absolutely it did, only in more subtle and insidious way than what is immediately obvious. So after brief discussion on why the line is in the film, Andre rejects the prevailing theory that it was a studio mandate. He explains, I believe Matt Reeves put it in there, not as a virtue signal, not as a throwaway line, but as an express marker of the movie's subtext and underlining theme. She was a hot Catwoman. I got to give her that. He goes on, following a brief overview of subtext and using John Milius's Conan the Barbarian, of course, as an example. Andre further explains why this line and the underlying themes and subtext it alludes to ruins the film's ending. Returning to the Batman, the point I'm making here is that the line about white privilege wasn't any random line that the studio mandated to be in there to appease the Twitter mob. No, it was placed there by the director, and it's a marker of the movie's subtext. One of the first things my associate, Tom Connors, Bat Tom, to all you guys.
Tom.
Yeah, one of my favorite Bat Toms in the world, pointed out in our very first discussion of the movie was that not only is every single mobster in the movie white, every white man in it is corrupt or otherwise a bad guy. Like I just said, it's the
You
truth.
should make a video about it in your car. I hear they go viral.
Yeah, I guess I should try. The observation is correct, though, and it is intentional for this another marker of the movie's subtext. And as we shall see, it goes way beyond the movie's villains. And he's right. I mean, villains, mayor, prosecutor, DA, like the only not corrupt cop is James Gordon, the black cop, which nothing wrong with Gordon being black. I have nothing wrong with that, but he is the only one that is, not corrupt pretty much of the police. Wow.
I mean, I don't have an issue with that one because that was always Gordon.
Yeah.
He was always the one that was quote unquote above reproach.
Right.
So when it comes to that aspect, I didn't mind it, but the fact that he was cast as a black man and they've done that with all the other characters, it's just another layer on top of it.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's smart because if you do that with characters like Gordon and other characters, when it comes to the things, you can hide that within that, and you go, well, no, that's the way it is. So therefore, if I can say, well, Gordon was always this way, this guy was always this way, Maroney was always a white Italian, therefore everything else must be right, and it's a little bit of mental gymnastics with it, but it does work because most people don't even realize it. Right.
No, you're right, but it's something that we have been trained now to not see. They've been beating us over the head with this since, Ghostbusters 2016. It's like white man bad, everybody else okay. And this movie really did do that. It was like, even though Batman's a white guy, he has his issues, he has his anger, even Alfred lied to him, broke the trust. Thomas Wayne turned out to be, somebody who for most of the movie you think is a bad guy, and he's like the only one, but he's dead, of course. Let's just read what else he says. In the movie, all of Gotham is corrupt, and we see this corruption expressed in the city's establishment citizens. And as has been pointed out, there is very little diversity among these particular citizens. This is Batman City, so it's kind of a big deal to him, but why should anyone else care? In our world, Gotham doesn't even exist. Well, that is what makes Gotham a parallel for our whole society, history, and social structure. Gotham is a stand-in for our world. Keep that in mind as the full extent of Gotham's corruption is exposed over the course of the movie. That corruption infests every facet of Gotham's establishment's structure, citizenry, oh my God, I can't speak, and even its history. Wow, he really goes into it, man. And right here, it even also includes Alfred, who aided and enabled the corruption of the Waynes, which he is held accountable for after nearly dying. Even Bruce Wayne, Batman himself, doesn't escape unscathed. He hasn't done anything wrong, but it doesn't matter because, as the Riddler says, the sins of the father are the sins of the son. Bruce Wayne is, how should we put it, a beneficiary of the corrupt system of his father and the city. So it goes on, what do you guys think of the chat? Would it have bothered you if Catwoman didn't say it and they just, played it? Because I think I was into the movie enough where I didn't care, because every movie does that now. I don't know what you think, Grant.
Yeah, well, I think, a show don't tell sort of scenario. I think just hitting it over the head with it. If they make the movie about that and they don't throw it in our face, then that's subtext. At the moment, it's just text.
Right.
So I don't think there is a subtext to it. It's just like, this is what it is. This is how it is. We've got to make sure that we inject this politics into it now.
Yep.
I think that the way that it was done, I mean, Reeves is smart enough to know where and when to insert it and everything.
Yep.
The whole idea of the Waynes being bad guys and everything, it worked for the Telltale game, because it was a game about you learning. It was about you learning about your past and everything like that. Where this isn't a story about Bruce Wayne's past.
Right.
If this was the whole, like a Court of Owls sort of scenario or anything like that, where his whole purpose of the movie was to find out information about his family,
Right.
then having them be the bad guy would work more. It just feels like another way just to say that anyone that has money is evil.
Well, that's it. And like you put it perfectly, like the Court of Owls, or the idea that Thomas Wayne in that is bad. It's almost like they took that idea, but never gave us the substance or the payoff for that. Because in the end, they make him not a bad guy. He just messed up, you know? And that's what got him killed.
Yeah, but that makes it worse, him being in.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like he's still a bad guy, you know.
Right.
He was just a guy that wasn't good enough at being a bad guy.
Right. He had a moment. Well, like they try to play it off as like a moment of weakness, but real quick, guys, Zaz has a funny G4 video. I was watching while other people were talking, and I was, logging off of my own stream. So please check him out after the stream.
Yeah, for some odd reason, it made me hungry. I don't know why.
Something like that. We have 26 people watching right now, which is awesome. We have 41 likes. So if we can get to 50, that'd be cool for a Monday. I don't think we've gotten there before. So during a live stream, so I'd appreciate it.
Smash that like button, guys.
Disliked the stream.
We can do it.
I thought you did. It was 42 and went to 41. You son of a gun. Let's see what other people are saying. I think Bosch says this, I think it's a sign of how stupid people are. And I want to know what you think about this, Christy. People are that Ryan RKO was called a racist for pointing out racism in this film.
I mean,
did you follow any of that?
I did, but it's yeah. To me, it's kind of convoluted in the sense that, sure, I can see how people would react to that on Twitter if that's the clip that they saw. Mm-hmm. But if you don't see the whole thing, or if you're just reacting to that one bit, then you're kind of fucking ignorant, in my opinion, about that. I mean, Ryan's a fucking asshole, and I'll be the first.
Well, that's what it is.
I mean, just because you're an asshole doesn't mean you're
racist.
Wow, he's a white guy talking about racism. I'm sorry, everyone can be a fucking racist. I mean,
well, it's because of how he explained it. So Ryan isn't it? He could be an idiot, he could be a dick. I love that about him. And instead of pointing out more about the white characters, he pointed out how there was no bad black characters. None of them had any, anything like wrong about them. None of them were corrupt. None of them were crooked, like of the main characters, which is true. There wasn't a lot of them, but he was right about that. It was all the white guys that were messed up. But people just took that little clip and ran with it. Do I think this, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, do I think this film is a racist film? No. Do I think it has is it trying to, instead of going after a class war like it should, it's going after, white men, rich white men. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And that's the shitty thing. It's always, people, you need to understand, it's about fucking class. That's what it is. That's what it's always been about. I mean, I don't give a shit if you're Democrat, Republican, whatever. It's always been about class. But people don't see that. They just see the color aspect. Yep. And for them not to say, like, with Catwoman is an ambiguous character because she's in it for herself. Now, maybe that's just me thinking about the Batman the Animated Series. That is the go-to. That is what I always go to. I fucking love that series. I mean, I have Talisa Al Ghul and Batman and Poison. I have Poison Ivy. I have so many from that series itself because I just love the animated series. And yeah, Batwoman seems pretty good, but at the same time, she's in it for herself too.
Yes.
So it's just like that's that's kind of a bad character. Maybe, I guess it depends on the circumstances, but no character is good or bad. There's always shades of gray. And I think
Right.
with how this movie is being described, it's not like that at all.
Right. Yeah. What do you think the movie is described like mostly? It's positive, right?
I mean, from what I've heard, from what I've seen, people, you either like it or you don't like the movie.
Yeah.
And with Thomas Wayne, okay, he's a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. He works in corporations and stuff like that. Those can be ambiguous characters too. Maybe they get into shady deals and stuff like that.
Well, I'll give you a quick
normal
synopsis of what happened. He was a doctor. He saved Falcone. Spoilers, but this is in like Long Halloween. He runs for mayor. He wants to change things. Some reporters doing an expose on his wife and the murder-suicide of her parents and her like locking up in mental hospitals. He did not want that coming out. The guy wouldn't listen to him. So he asked Falcone to scare the dude. Falcone took it as an opportunity to kill him, to get Thomas Wayne in his pocket. Thomas Wayne was naive. He was stupid. Like you kind of killed the character in that way. Like he was not smart enough to realize that would happen, which that's dumb.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne was smart, but, like he gets killed because he didn't want that to happen. He was going to go and tell the police and the papers. So he gets murdered. So Thomas Wayne in all aspects is actually a good guy, but screwed up because he's an idiot.
But it goes back to being that like you can be your own worst fucking hero, your own worst enemy. Like it's just about being human. And with the scenes that I've seen with this movie, I'm just like, ooh.
Right.
Like
I'm more pissed off that he's bulletproof. I am more pissed off that he's bulletproof.
And it's definitely more about class because you can versus race because you only see him beating up on white people.
Yeah.
So clearly it's not that there's a race issue in Gotham because otherwise all the criminals would be non-white.
Right, and he would be beating the crap out of them, protecting the white rich guys. You're right. Yes, James, I am here. Wednesdays will sometimes be tough for me, but we have the great Mr. Grant Gregory, Mad, and the great Culture Casino maybe filling in here and there on Wednesdays because that was more of that was Saturday. I'm sorry. That was a family thing, but Wednesdays I might not be here as much for the dump because I want to make time for other people's channels to do streams like Vinny and the great Red Gaze who will be on Wednesday's show and people like that to help, support them. Go on.
Oh yeah, where was your bitch ass on Saturday?
Long story short,
is it personal?
Yeah.
Then
not
don't say
major,
it.
but I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
The hair transplant didn't quite take, so we're
the
gonna try
plugs
again
were
next week.
just popping out, man. It sucked.
But the back hair looks great.
Yeah. I could I ask you this too though, Grant? Because you explained this really well. Don't we expect every movie now to have some of this in it, some wokeness in it? Is it because of they took us out of it by just that one line, but we would have recognized it after the fact?
I think it's there's an ebb and flow when it comes to what gets told in stories, and at the moment we're going through the phase where everything's going to be woke, and it's a trope, and it'll run its course, it'll die off naturally. And that'll be a thing. You'll see a movie like that, and you're like, "When was it about?" And it's got all these politics, and you're like, "Okay, so that was around, the 2020s, sort of thing."
Mm-hmm.
I think because if you're looking for something, you'll find it, and I think the problem is because it's in so much stuff, we automatically are going in looking for it,
Right?
and it's our own filter, our own biases, however you want to do it. I'll go and look at the new film. What's the Jared Leto Morbius?
Right.
I've seen no trailers for it. I know nothing about it, but I'll go in and if even if it's just one line about something, I'll be like, oh, here it is.
Yes.
Because there's already this. I'm waiting for it essentially.
Yes. Yeah. I try hard not to go into movies like that, but
Yeah,
It's in the back of your head.
Especially if you're enjoying it.
Right.
Because if you're really enjoying it, as Andre said, it does pull you out of it.
Right.
Like
Ghostbusters.
Yes, I finally got this one. Yeah, finally got something that I'm really enjoying.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you let it bother you,
right,
then that's on you.
You know,
Ghostbusters.
The newest one, like the whole time in the back of my head, I'm like, when is it gonna jump the so-called woke shark? But it really didn't.
I think it did. I think that making him a deadbeat dad. I didn't like that.
Yeah, but in a way, he wasn't. I understand what you mean. Yeah. It wasn't a great movie, but the whole time I was just waiting for, him not to actually have stayed away from her because of that. You know what I mean? Like that would have been really, really bad. But now I've even gotten to the point where TV series, I watched the first season knowing that it's going to be in the second season. Look at The Boys. I knew the second season would bring in the racist stuff, even though it's in the source material. I get that. But it's just one of those things where it's it's part of the source material, so you should expect it. But you're
not,
gender swapping.
They're changing things around to deliberately make it more in line.
Yes.
Was it on your show that I sent the thing? It's got the horn guy from January 6th in the crowd with Homelander and the new trailer. Yeah,
yep.
So I mean, that's a deliberate choice to put something like that in there, and especially from the creators who, and you got Garth Ennis who wrote it, and then you got Kripke, who are absolutely avid anti-Trump people, and anyone who even associates with Trump, they think are essentially real life Nazis.
Yeah.
They're the sort of people that draw a line in the sand, and if you're not on their side, you're the worst thing in the world.
Right.
So they even said that this is going to lead heavily into the Trump era. I mean, when they were writing it, Trump had just got out of office, and then now this is going to be so far gone. But they're trying to put this in to help persuade the next election.
Right, and that granted, that has happened throughout Hollywood, which I find funny is when Hollywood says that people that don't align with them, free speech shouldn't be allowed, and some of these people should be arrested. Blah 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 blah. Those are the same. Their forebears were arrested because of what they believed in during the 50s and 40s. What goes around comes around. You're going to be saying what you're saying now, and when the pendulum of America swings the opposite way, it'll swing hard, and we'll be so far right that. Why can't we be somewhere in the middle? Let's just be better.
Well, we are, but the problem is the pendulum is only in the middle for a short amount of time.
Yeah, right, and it rarely ever happens.
And also, Scott, you got 60 likes now, so well done, everyone.
Oh wow, thanks everybody. 28 in there. We're gonna go for just a little bit longer, but I know Christy, you have to get going.
I do, and the only reason why I say that is because it's the storm and raining and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's the reason why I've been going off camera and stuff like that, because I can hear it kind of get buffer and everything like that. So I'm just
I just love having you on. It's been so long. You want to come on? Dude, just let me know. Just let me know if if the panel's not crazy full, please just and on Mondays.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, but you always have an invite.
I wanted to see if you're jealous of me. So,
do
you know who this is?
It's hard to see on your camera.
Okay.
Is that? Oh, is that Stannis? Oh man, I want that. They're so much better than the Funkos. Oh, wow, that's.
Man, I can already see that action figure scolding me from there.
I know, right? Right, thinking he's better than me.
Where I ordered those from?
Where?
Australia.
Ooh.
Oh,
no, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years. It was during COVID. So, I ordered them. Well, no, that's not true, because I ordered them in November, December of 2019, right. And then, of course, everything with COVID and stuff happened, and I didn't end up getting these until July of 2020.
Holy crap.
Oh, that's
You're-
just the normal Australian postal system, though. That's
They're almost as bad as me. So January 8th, I told Tina I was going to mail her the big Funko Pop because Shane Nolan wants her to have it. I told her this. I'm looking it up right now because I hate not holding myself to it. January 8th, I told her. I still have not mailed it out. So Tina, if you're watching this after the fact, I promise that this week I am sending out your big Funko Pop. I have your address. I'm sending it.
I probably, you know what I need? What I should do is I should probably send because I thought I didn't have a Night King and I ended up getting another one.
Yep.
And so I have two. I have
God.
2 Night Kings and 2 Khal Drogos. So I was just like, what the hell am I going to do with these? Do you want them?
I mean, you know, if you want to get them off
Yeah,
your
I'll
hands.
send them to you. I'll send them to you.
We could talk. We could talk.
Okay,
I could
yeah.
pay
that was
for-
very subtle, Scott.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty smooth. I could talk about, you know, postage if you need me to, you know, so, we could talk payment. I don't care. Thank you for coming on though, dude. You rock.
This was fun. I do miss this, but it's just like personal stuff and then just like Twitter, and my cat is going crazy because there's a daddy long legs. But it's just like
Daddy long legs.
like with Twitter, like the political everything like that. I'm just like, I get so tired of it. It makes streaming not fun because when you don't want to talk about politics,
Right,
to a
which I
certain
just
degree.
did to you.
But we did it in a context that was, in my
it was
opinion,
natural.
It was natural,
Yeah.
and it was open.
Yeah,
That where it didn't get too heavy,
right.
like some other bigger channels that I would think that would happen on.
Yeah, you know, because look, I am all about open Discord here. You don't have to agree with what I believe because
Absolutely.
that's the beauty of a free, you know, country. I just ask people to be respectful, even if you disagree strongly with what I believe. It's like we don't have to be angry with each other. We could be passionate, but I hate that people get angry. You know, like I just don't understand that. That's the whole point of our country. If you tell your side of it and you try to get enough people to agree with you so your side wins. If you lose, you lose. It is what it is.
They don't know what a daddy long legs is.
Really? Who doesn't know that?
It has the campiest name of all time.
Well, yeah, daddy long legs are...
technically, I think it's called, what is it?
Daddy long legs? That's the only thing I know it by. Are they not
It's
in
called,
the other
It's
hemisphere?
called cellar spiders.
Really?
But this is what it is right there.
Yeah, they very long
if I'm
legs.
sharing
Yeah,
my
like
page.
that.
Like,
that
this
yeah,
is what
you
it
are.
is right here.
Yep.
Yeah, they have the very long legs, and it's like you see this picture right here, where it's like it could look like roots or something like that, and then all of a sudden you blow on it, and then you get freaked out. I mean,
they're massive, but they
harmless
can't
and
do
stuff
shit
like
to
that.
you. Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna bite you. Like, nah, bro, you
Right.
can't.
Wait, I don't have to agree. Not like on Comics Division. Then I hate Fat Steven Seagal. You know what? You could hate who you want. That doesn't mean I will. I could tell you Fat Steven is definitely an acquired taste. But that's the beauty of this. Like, I don't need people to like each other. Like I've had people on like big channels that still will come on my show, even though I have other people they hate on. Like, cause they know that's who I am. I get along with people.
When's Jeremy coming on?
Yeah, I've been asking and I'll find out. I keep getting the in a couple weeks thing, you know. But thanks, Jeremy. Geeks and Gamers minor league here, but at least I get Ryan, and now Ryan's kind of getting too big too. But whatever. Thanks, Ryan.
Dude, oh my god, when I shared that, when he said that on Twitter, or like what is I clipped? I need to find that. I'm gonna share that.
Yeah,
again.
please find that. Please find that again.
All right.
Because that was hilarious shit. Yeah, thanks, Jeremy.
It was amazing.
What I love is, you know, I have I love your sense of humor. Some people might take it differently. I think it's hilarious. If you can't make fun of yourself, come on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
What I love doing more than anything is trolling Scott.
Yes.
So like before he like passed me in subs, I legitimately was
Every
going
day?
to buy subs just to
Yeah.
piss him off.
Every day she fucking attacked me on that one.
I really did. And
Yeah.
in the group chats that we're in, you know, though, like when you do, like, you send out the tweet like, hey, here's my new video, or here's the live stream, and he's like, could you please retweet this or share it? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well, have you noticed I've backed away from like begging for subscribers as much? You know, because I've realized it's not a good look on me. So
because your bitch ass has 2,000 subs. That's why.
What is that? Because you overtook Walton. So
yeah.
He got cold. He lost like 300 subs.
Yeah, he did.
Is he doing okay? Is it just
he's doing okay. He's been working.
Yeah.
He's been working. He had like an out of state job. So he is still the Rogue King. He owns the Rogues. I still love Walton. We all decided to focus on our own stuff right now, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this
you
stuff is fun and everything like that, but when it comes to paying the bills and
gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, man. He was away for like 6 weeks, so I think he's just getting home now. And again, to Drew, I hope Drew's going through it hard, his mom and stuff. So also I think George. So prayers for those guys. But we're gonna finish this article. If you want to stick around, stick around. If not, jump out, Christy.
I gotta go. It was awesome talking with you guys.
Love you, buddy.
Have a good one. It was awesome streaming with you.
It was awesome as always. And Scott, go suck a dick. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. I wait a minute. God.
Well, you don't want to be a liar, so.
No, I mean, if I have to, I have to. I used to have an old timer where I work. Like the saying is, leave your one feeling at the gate. He used to say to guys, how do you know you don't like doing it? You got to at least do it twice, and with two different ones, because the first one might be a bad one. You know, like, okay. Anywho, where were we?
Where did the old man touch you, Scott?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Usually they bypass me and go for somebody else. I hate that. This is for two characters who act as subtext marks. Okay, so did we read the part above this?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, because it was about the sins of the father put on the son, I think was the last thing you read.
Thank you. So Andre from Midnight's Edge goes on. This is further emphasized by two characters who act as subtext markers, namely Catwoman, who points out that Batman most obviously comes from money, and the young, diverse, prospective mayor who represents the future and a better tomorrow. She tells Bruce Wayne in not so many words that he owes the city, he hasn't been doing enough, and she is going to make him do better. You got to do better, Governor.
You've got to do better.
Oh, Senator. You got to do better, Bruce. Oh, someone.
Better.
Yeah, someone should mix that Falcon with the Batman. You know, and like have him say it to the Batman. Just an idea. Andre goes on to say this may explain why earlier in the movie we are told that Batman doesn't know if what he is doing is really helping. If anything, crime is up since he made his appearance, but in light of Catwoman's and the prospective mayor's comments to him, the implied reason why is that the whole corrupt system of which is a beneficiary is still in place. I mean, very valid point. You know, and it took a biblical flood to wash away the sins.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it biblical, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
A few people got wet.
Yeah, could have got electrocuted too. After the city has been symbolically cleansed by the flood, there can be, I don't know, a reset, if you will, after which they can build back, you know, in a better way. However, we are told things will get worse before they get better because they still need those sequels and spin-offs.
I mean, to do it at the end of the first film is kind of weird.
Yes. We haven't even really like learned the world yet.
Yeah. Like what parts were destroyed? Was there homeless shelters? Was the hospitals? Like we don't really get a detail of that. We just know. Oh, by the way, this part, the glades that was here, it's now underwater.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, we don't learn enough about the city. Like, at least I think they did a great job showing like what the city, like how gritty the city could be. And like, I like the aesthetic of the city as a backdrop, but at least in Batman Begins, you learn where the Narrows are. You learn where the Wayne Tower building is. And, you know, you learn like,
and that's why when Bane blew up the thing and cut it off, it meant something more because you knew the character of the city, even though it was probably one of the least developed cities. At least it had that. It was in the third one. At the beginning of this, either have it right at the beginning of the film, because it's essentially like someone wiping out a bunch of let's just say an army of aliens or something that has no story, no face, nothing. It's death for the sake of death, and it has no weight to the actual death itself.
Right.
Because I don't even know if Batman gave a shit about that area.
Right.
If he didn't, exactly. And then that's the thing that changed it. Maybe that was the thing. Like, if they go that route, that he's just like, I never gave a shit about that area. I'd never even been there.
I'm kind of glad it's getting washed away. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
or it's like, damn, my favorite taco place is gone.
Right. What does he say? Oh, damn it! I screwed that up. I was about to say it. What does he say at the end of Avengers? You ever have?
Let's do shawarma.
Shawarma, yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody, Raquel here, who I love. Sorry I haven't been around much. I've been busy and keep missing your live streams, but I'm so glad I see you in the chat because it means the world to me. So this is a different stream. It's Spork Deep. It's just usually me. And Mr. Grant Gregory is the amazing producer who I love having on with me right now because it's really hard to talk this long by yourself. But Raquel, if you ever want to come on, just me and you on a Monday night, I promise, to all the gods above, we will only talk about Hollywood. I love you. She is awesome. Bye, Christy.
Some shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans. Let's just finish this out. So, still the message appears to be that due to the power structure of a non-diverse group of men, society must be restarted. Some of you watching right now may be saying to yourself, that can't be right. But go rewatch the movie with what I've said in mind, and you'll find it all there. And when these all emerge is when the movie falls apart. Later in the video, he says the issue with the movie appears to be that rather than comment on the human condition, this movie pushes an ideopolitical message. The issue with that is that this instantly makes the subtext far more complicated and difficult to integrate into the on-screen story without becoming preachy. Agree totally. Look, I talked about it. I don't know if it was a video or a live stream, but the new Miss Marvel, the one line in there where she goes, brown girls from Jersey like me don't become superheroes. In that moment, instead of making it, about race, why couldn't she talk about the human condition and talk about her? Like a girl like me from Jersey, why you? Why can't you be a superhero? Not the race I belong to, not the religion I belong to, but you as a person. Why not you?
Yeah, the more I see that line, the more I feel like she's taking a stab at brown people from Jersey.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you heroes? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like she becomes a hero and then she's pissed that more brown people from Jersey aren't heroes.
Exactly.
They're not good enough. And the whole idea, like, they always keep pushing that she's Muslim, but like, that's like saying like Spider-Man, the Christian, like, I think she's Pakistani, right?
Yeah. But I mean, with the Spider-Man thing, they even went out of the ways to remove that with Aunt May because in Sam Raimi's one, she's in the middle of praying when she gets attacked.
Finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like they've done that, but that was bad to do that. Here's the thing: if they want to include her religion as a thing, make it the focal point of her character.
Right.
Make everything about her doing that. If it's just a throwaway line and then you're virtue signaling that she is just for the sake of saying, look, she's Muslim, then it's irrelevant.
Right. Well, then back to the Batwoman when she's on the phone with her roommate and she calls her hun.
Yeah.
You know, like, and all of a sudden now she's a bisexual character. Like, first of all, to me, Catwoman is just about sexuality. The amazing thing about her is how she does connect to the Batman, because no matter who you are, she uses sexuality to try to control you, to try to get in close to you, you know, like, but just because she calls somebody hun, you know, or whatever she says, like, come on.
And let's see, if it's hun that she says, that's got to be like the least sexy thing. I mean, if you go to Minnesota, everyone calls each other that. I can't remember where it is, but yeah, like it's
down south.
Or if they say honey, like, or baby or something like that. I mean, hearing that like in that sort of context doesn't seem like it's a relationship sort of thing. It's a term of affection.
Yeah.
What was she on the phone about? What was there information being relayed back?
Yeah. Right. Well, wait a minute. Say that one more time. Reciprocated?
I'm saying, like, she's on the phone. She's on the phone. What was
you
the purpose
could barely
of the phone
hear
call?
The girl's scared. The girl's missing, something like that. I can't remember exactly. Like,
so she's comforting her in that thing. Yeah, she's calling her a name,
either hun or darling or something like that.
Something. Even if let's just say she called her babe or something like that. Something that's used more often. It's clear that she's doing that purely and simply to make this person feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
they're obviously distressed and everything. They're looking for a connection because they've lost one. It's a perfect way of doing it. And if it turns out that person is the one, then that's your way of showing it. That's just cheap. If you're gonna do it, have Bruce Wayne go in for a kiss, and then, you know, she puts her finger to the thing and she's like, it's not gonna happen or something like that.
Yeah, this week I'm with women.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you may be dressing leather, but you've got the wrong equipment, you know, or you've got, you know, anything like that. Or have her making out with a chick. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Right. Not just like after the fact imply it because you want, you know, Zoe Kravitz wants her to be bisexual. You know, like, the truth is, to me,
same thing with Doctor Who. They infer an implication. They don't even commit to an inference. You know?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Well, very good one to bring up. That's absolutely correct. All right, before I almost did it again. Oh my God. All right. In fact, okay, we're becoming preachy. In fact, it becomes so difficult that the writers may not have been fully up to the task. And even if they were, it may become muddied during both the shooting and editing stages. Whatever the case, the end result was, in my view, a mess. And despite a great first half, or even a great first 2/3, they didn't stick the landing. What is more, since the message is based in ideology, not any kind of objective reality, the finished movie will also in part be further removed from reality to anyone not on board with the ideopolitical message. Something in the movie will ring untrue.
Yeah, and that's the problem. If you pick a side, you're automatically dividing the other side. Yeah.
And again, without saying it, without using that line, it was implied. We all understood. All the corrupt people were white men. Everybody else was, you know, either black or you know, of a different minority. You didn't have to throw that. There was no need for that line in there. It's a class. Batman is about class. Yeah. It's a class war. It is about the elites and their money and the poor not having it. It really is, to me at least. That's how I've always seen Batman.
It's the story of a billionaire beating up poor people.
Yeah. So Andre starts closing the video out. In my book, this is a great shame because right up until the subtext moved from the implicated or implicit, right? Wait a minute. Can I not say that word? Implicit? Yeah, implicit.
Yeah.
To the explicit. This really was a great Batman movie, and then it no longer was. My skepticism leading up to the movie was always about Matt Reeves, or rather the bad robot school of filmmaking he comes from, which is all about subversion and deconstruction. I saw somebody put that in the chat. Alas, that is exactly what he brought to the table, and the moment he did, it fell apart. I don't know if it fell apart, but it did put a bad taste in my mouth. Again, I took more offense because I knew that's what they were going for. Her saying that just made it a little worse. It was him being bulletproof. I can't get by that, man. Can't get by it. It did well, and it's going to have a sequel. I wonder how that'll go. Do you guys agree with Andre or you disagree? Let us know in the comments section below. Let's see what other people are saying. Yeah, the whole Hun thing makes me laugh. Katina says, I'm really bad for saying sweetie, sweetheart, and Hun. You know who says Hun a lot? Mary does. She really says Hun a lot. It always makes me laugh. How did you know that I'm a Hun? Yeah, that's right. Her calling me a Hun. She's saying that's not my pronoun. I couldn't think of anything right there.
Yeah, I'm he Hun.
Yeah, I'm he Hun. In the context, saying Hun sounds like it's just refers to someone they consider family. See, that's the thing. She says Hun to the girl, and then she says Hun to men that she's kind of playing with. She's making marks. That's just, she uses her sexuality. I thought they made Catwoman was gay or bi in the movie. Yeah. That's what they said after the fact. No, it wasn't. It was her roommate. The missing girl was her roommate. And that's like, not once do they imply it's her girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, that's what
it's a roommate, but they don't share rooms.
They share only one thing.
More of a housemate than a roommate. But yeah.
Right. A bedmate.
Yeah.
Like it was only after the movie they threw that in. Cause if I watched the movie and never heard that statement that she was bi and it was her, I would never have thought of her as a girlfriend. She was just a really good friend that she cared about. Zaz saying 3 orphans trying to reach the same goal with different methods and means is more interesting than white man bad. Yeah. Don't know, don't care. People from Baltimore say Hun a lot.
Yeah, Baltimore there is. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, the movie has made enough money. Just definitely. It's made 600 mil at least. She might have called her baby. That might have been it. No matter what, it was a name of endearment. Because she called somebody else the same thing later in the movie.
Well, all I know is if you're in the South and a large black woman says that means your family.
Yeah, right. And if they say bless your heart, they really mean
you said something stupid.
Yeah, you definitely said something stupid. James Hayes, one of my favorites, and always comments on my videos. Thank you guys again for commenting on videos, liking, subscribing to the channel members. You guys all rock. I really do appreciate it. You helped me make enough money where I could pay this guy over here to do some fun things with my videos. Because he is worth it.
I'm going to give him hair.
Yeah. Really? I would love that. I mean, hate that. Batman is classic superhero, which means pulp crime fighter. He fought criminals and solved cases. It falls apart when you try to make thought crimes or social issues villains instead of people. Right. Adam says, what's up, Adam? Most Southern women call you Hun. It means you only know half of what you are talking or you don't know. Right. If they call you Hun, you're kind of being told you're a moron. Katina says, when they were on the phone with the girl freaking out, I thought she called her baby to calm her down. Yes. Completely agree. What do you have? Anything to wrap this up with?
No. Thanks for having me. Above the stage. It's good. It's down below the stage. It gets cold sometimes.
Well, could I show him something that you made? Here we go.
What a story, Sporking.
Yeah, you can say that again.
What a story, Sporking.
Sporking. Now podcast is going this Friday.
Sporking Nas podcast. I love that.
I'm definitely working on some more of those with a little bit more clearer audio, hopefully.
Oh, it's awesome. All right, let's see who is live right now. Let's see who we want to pass you guys over to, even though you you have the right to go to anybody, but we do have ETEP Wanawanaku at a place to be review. Let's get ETEP's live. Let's see how many people are watching. He has only 12 people watching him. Come on, guys, jump over there and say it's a Sporking retreat, and comic is coming up soon too. But jump over to I might jump on comics too. Jump over to ETEP and please just give my brother some love. He's like a better version of me. He's so much better at this. There is his link, guys. Don't forget, comics is coming up. Raquel, I'll DM you. Love to have you on a Monday one-on-one. That'd be really cool. I
also have another video that I've just put out. Just a 30-second video on Geeks and Gamers. It's the Geeks and Gamers movie, that parody trailer that I did. I'll just throw that in the chat.
Please do, man. I'm going to check that out right now too. All right, but for everybody else, thank you guys for coming. This channel members, we were at 50. We hit it. We're down to 47. Become a channel member today. Go to my YouTube page and follow the link. Thank you, guys. Everybody, have a great day. Bye, Mr. Grant Gregory.
Bye.
Thank you, Christy. How don't you want to support that hot broad?
Yeah, she definitely needs the money to get that mole fixed, I think.
Yeah, I mean, at least checked out.
Yeah, healthcare's expensive over there.
I really need culture to update this. I don't know if all these people are still part of the gang.
Yeah, who sees your name here? They seem to have a lot of
good guy. Really good guy. Thanks, everybody.